Welcome back, Kingsman. I hope you guys are all doing well. My name is Kingston, and today I am bringing you a 4v4 Napoleon Total War 3 battle. Now, this one is going to be a little bit different, guys. A little bit, well, if you can't tell by the mini-map already, this is going to be a very guerrilla tactic run army. Now, it is two Russian Narods, so a lot of guerrilla Russians going up against France. Like all France. Of course, you have Prussia and the Reich who are going to be backing up these Russian factions, but for the most part, Russia is bringing like all Cav. I mean, but look at all this Cav just spaced everywhere, and already some of this Cav is on the move. I actually heard some volleys. I think some people are getting some shots off on some Cav that was a little bit too close. Got one kill, but now they are going to run away. So now, yeah, they've been warned. They're to leave, but look at Russia. They're just starting a circle. They are just hovering. Now these are like good for like quick strikes, but it looks like they're considering going in for it again. Instead, Russia's gonna retreat as France formed a square. He's gonna send another parting volley at them and kill a couple more horses. Oh, I hear a Cav engagement. So we got some Russians going in on some heavy grenadier chevals. Oh, looks like they're trying to go for a Russian general. But it looks like the grenadier cheval are going to try to save their leader. I'm trying to keep an eye on the minimap because so much happens in this battle, guys. So now it's just one chasing the other, and these guys are just trying to rush in. The general, I think at this point, is like, you know what, I'm going to try to stop you, do what I can, and then the Grenadier Cheval are just going to come in, save their general. And actually, truly, what a save that is. Oh, we got some more Russians who are now getting engaged. Maybe got a little too close, and now they're going to get butchered by this massive French Cav. We have some more Cav over here who look like they're getting beaten off. So far, France has done an excellent job of beating off all of this Cav. There's a lot of it. Over here, France is now advancing. Russia does have this kind of tree line area held with a bunch of Cav. We got, looks like the Reich is starting to march over with their massive army, as is Prussia. Prussia's sending over their men, their Cav, everything like that. But I do believe there's going to be a Cav engagement over here. Yes, there is. As they're going to charge in. These Chasseurs Cheval charging in on these Lancers. Honestly. Okay, so they're doing some work against France. They broke one, and that is always a victory. Now, the Reich is going to be sending over some. That's actually an excellent price. Two Russian Lancers for two French Cav. I tell you, it ain't cheap. It looks like France is now going to start pushing over some more cavalry, and the Reich is going to have to send someone in. So there's the Hussars to fight them, but you can surround these French Dragoons, which it looks like that's what they're going to do. It's just one charge after another, and unfortunately, this is a general Cav that is going to be slaughtered. So he's going to run off the field. Over here, it looks like Russia is still hovering. They're just trying to find some lights that can't form squares or something. They're just like vultures. They're just like just waiting. So now it looks like Russia is going in again, but France is showing kind of flexing a little bit. Yeah. France is kind of going to start flexing a little bit, sending in some heavies. Russia is just going to send even more Lancers in, but they're not going to do well, and I think at this point it's kind of they're going to have to chalk it up to lose one or two units. Over here, it's still just, you know, France is just flexing. They have way better Cav. They don't have maneuverability, but they have the better Cav. And so long as Russia can just use their numbers, they could isolate and surround Cav units. Things are starting to quiet down over here. The Reich and Prussia, are on either side of the battlefield, bringing a lot of infantry, not as much Cav. Of course, they are bringing probably some good. They have some decent infantry here, some grenadiers, and some line infantry, some lights. Some artillery is now moving up on both sides. You got some horse artillery, and I believe Russia has some larger artillery. Okay, so they took a building. Excellent. In this town. That's what you want. Now, look at this, guys. If you look at the mini-map, Russia is just starting to just surround this French force. And France does not have a ton of cav. They have good cav, yes, but it's not a ton of it. They have chasseurs cheval, hussars, and then some grenadier cheval way back here. This cav, I think, was going in for an artillery, but no, it's not going to happen. Unfortunately, they are going to get caught out. Not even going to make it to the artillery, which is very unfortunate. They tried. You got to give them props to trying. For trying. And just look at how this battlefield is just starting to go. We have some lights in position, some line infantry in front to kind of shield them. And it looks like France is getting ready to just hold. Not sure what the plan is, but actually it looks like the Reich is going to start shifting troops over. I think they're going to try to go for this side. France does have a pretty strong front right here, so they're determined to hold this one-pointer. And then another one-pointer over here that they have. So that's a beautiful house, I must say. My goodness. Still over here, this French army, they're sticking to their guns, which is really good for them. But they are going to be surrounded. I mean, you see just Russia has, you know, what, 10, 11, 12 units or so? Just sitting over here. This is going to be so bad for France, eventually. That's my prediction. Excuse me. So now we are just kind of going through the movement phase. Oh no, we got some cav charging in on some general infantry. Michael Murray. This is a good line infantry that's going to get butchered by some Prussian cav, maybe. They ain't shot, so no, it's not going to work. But I think, yeah, France is just, they're going to try to run away. They can't form square, and they're going to get butchered. Oh, no, they did form square. So Prussia needs to probably get out of there. And it looks like this cav engagement is going off with Russia hitting some lights. Going in and hitting some more lights and then running away. But they're probably going to lose some units here. Yep. But while France is distracted, if these guys can hit, they're very distracted. Okay, it looks like they're now countercharging this unit. If they can drive these hussars off the field, that is one less cav that France can't bring. But France keeps winning. And it unfortunately looks like Russia cannot really win, have a break. Still, the Reich over here is still moving, guys. Nothing really happening. It looks like France is kind of advancing, but it looks like they're starting to fall back. So, it looks like Russia is going to send in more troops. They just have so much cav. They're going to start sending up. And now France is going to have to really, really be careful. These guys are exhausted. They can't keep running around. They keep getting themselves really tired. Over here you can see on the minimap they are starting to withdraw and pull over. Now France, I think, is determined they need to deal with this cav. They need to deal with all of this cavalry. It's just too much for them. So keeping an eye on the minimap, of course. Prussia looks like they are moving up. They're going to try to take this LOC. The Reich is kind of shifting over. I think they decided that they're going to engage this right side possibly, or the center. One or the other. And I think France is getting prepared to square off against Russia. They have the chasseurs cheval, the dragoons, and then some more dragoons. Now, I know they have some heavy grenadier cheval over here somewhere. Those will be really, really, really important in this battle. Now, they can definitely send in their hussars or their chasseurs cheval first. Dragoons can then hit the sides and just kill them. And that's what they hopefully will start doing. They have artillery still in position. That's going to be putting pressure on Prussia. Pressure on Prussia. And, man, Russia has a ton of cav still. So France has decided that this is definitely their strong side. They are getting shelled by some artillery from Russia and the Reich. So there's not a whole lot here about some Cav, but I think their kind of scare tactic is working, and it's causing France to fall back instead of advance and push that initiative. It looks like Prussia's going to have a little bit of trouble here. They have to take this house. Their infantry's not going to be the greatest, and they're already getting some skirmishers taking pot shots at them from the house. So, not the most ideal situation for Prussia. I hear some Cav. Okay, so they're charging on some Rohan, huh? Rohan Hussars. No, I was kidding. I know it's a general. General Cav, but they're charging, and Reich's going to get out of there. Now, I think Russia is going to be getting pretty confident here. I mean, they have still, 8 units. Oh, looks like France is going to try committing, and so is Russia. No. Oh, no, they're going for a flanking charge against Jean-Baptiste. Seeing if they can't do some damage, but I don't think that's going to do very well. Oh. Oh, dang. Maybe they'll both break at the same time. No. They did hurt them a little bit, though, which is very good. I'm trying to watch over there because, we have another battle happening over here. It looks like France is starting to push on the left flank of Russia. And their Cav is probably going to do an excellent job with these cuirassiers. Heavy Cav. It's going to make quick work of all these Russians. And they're getting shot to pieces by this infantry. This is just a very, very well-placed attack with the infantry and Cav working together, and this Russian force is probably going to have to fall back. Still nothing over here. It's still just a showdown. I think someone's waiting for someone to make the first move. Prussia is getting very, very close, though. I think they're deciding that they maybe are going to try putting pressure on this house. Distract this French faction and maybe... Oh, that is an extremely lucky hit. Taking out these Prussian cannon. Took out one of them. Now over here, as you can see, Russia is now falling back. The Reich is just ignoring this left side. They're trying to unite with Prussia because they are the only 2 land units, the only 2 land forces. So if they can push on this one French faction, the other 3 are stretched along here. So, we will see how that plays out. I think, Prussia's going to go in for a bayonet charge with some grenadiers, going up against some other grenadiers from France. You got some really good French grenadiers, so this is going to be really, really not the greatest. They're going to try their best. France is going to throw up some more infantry, which is going to flank these guys and cause a massive morale shock. Watch. As soon as they go in, it's going to hit them in the flank, and they're going to be breaking almost instantly. Oh, I'm missing it. So this Cav engagement is popping up. I don't know. I obviously missed who started it. I'm so sorry for that. But it looks like, actually, Russia is winning this. Russia is knocking France out a little bit. No, not really. Actually, never mind. Unfortunately, not. France is still winning. They just routed a ton of Russian Cav, and Russia doesn't have a whole lot left. As you can see, these grenadiers got broken from this house, so they are running. It looks like France is winning. They are holding off every attack put against them. And they have secured this flank for the most part. There's only 3 units of Cav, 4 or 5. 5 units of Russian Cav, and it looks like maybe France is going to try to end this here and now. They're pushing out their dragoons, saving their hussars, their chasseurs cheval. This kind of line battle over here is popping off. They're just sitting here shooting into the house, killing these guys as they're trying to, but France is going to try to back them up. It looks like, yep, France got too cocky, and they went in for a Cav charge, and now the numbers are going to be against them. They pushed too far out, and look at this. They are going to break, and now France is in major, major trouble. They have only 2 Cav units left. 2 hussars. These are light units, and of course you got some dragoons over here. It looks like now Russia was unable to get their lancers out of here, but this is a huge thing. And look at this. No cav. It's a bunch of infantry, a bunch of lights, might I add, and guys that cannot form square. This is the perfect strike for cav. I would go with this with all my Prussian cav, if I was Prussia or France. Just punch right through here. There's nothing that can form square. Only thing that can form square are over here, and they're not doing anything. But look at this. The Reich has showed up, and now they're going to be pushing, as now France is going to be getting hit, probably with more than, with 2, 3, 4 different factions. Over here, France is pushing, I'm assuming they're pushing, but Russia is just kind of, you know, going to probably hold at this town at the most. Over here, France is not doing a whole lot. They're just kind of holding their position. This French faction, I'm just making a prediction now, this French faction, this Grand Armee, isn't going to be grand in like 5 minutes. Look at all this cav, and like I said, nothing can form square. They have no cavalry. This is going to be the un-Grand Armee in just a second, because I would be falling back right now to the tree line to try to link up with some guys that can maybe form square, although the Reich is pushing like crazy. At least they have the Grenadier Cheval, but shift them over here, please. This is just trouble waiting to happen. Over here, you got some heavy cav still guarding the center, but the Reich is just going to be pushing hardcore, going for these French units, which are really good. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works. And, oh man, I see a lot of cav. Yep, cav is going in on some guys that cannot form square, just causing an extra distraction. They're going to break this line infantry. And if these allies can work together, Prussia can push, as they are now going to break. Oh no, they just weakened them a lot. Yep, here it goes. Here it goes. This is what I want to see. The aggressive use of cav when they're distracted with the Reich. Just pushing up. Look at all this cav going on both sides, guys. It's like a sandwich. And they're just going to push up. Here's some, yep. So they're going to push in some French cav to try to stop Prussia. But here are some heavy cav and dragoons. And, yep, I hear it. So they're going to crush the rest of this French cavalry with the Russians. But look at this mosh pit. As now the Reich is just going to push like crazy. And Prussia is pushing with their infantry. They're going to get some beautiful volleys. And France is running out of cav, as Prussia is going to send even more, as well as the Reich. And this is going to become disaster. This is going to spell disaster for France. They have nothing. They're going to start, I think the Chasseurs, these Grenadier Cheval, are going to go head-to-head with some heavy Prussian cavalry, actually. But look at this. Look at this chaos right now, guys. It's very, very apparent that Prussia is going to be able to utilize this to their advantage. Oh, and we have the Reich going in for some bayonet charges here, using some really excellent infantry with some cavalry as well. They're just hitting. France is getting hit with everything all at once. They can't form up. They can't regain. They need their reinforcements. There's a lot of French cavalry here that needs to push up, because here comes Russia. Prussia is going to break these Grenadier Cheval, who are very tired. And this is becoming chaos for France. Prussia is definitely going to take this house, or they're just going to ignore it. I don't know what they're going to do. But they are pushing up hard on this flank. Reich is pushing up. Who is going to take this now? As you can see now, France is going to be pushing up. And if Russia can just hold them off until this battle is over, as look at Russia. They are running all of them. They took out all this artillery, took out this light infantry. They're just going to be charged at the backs of these infantry, and France has got to decide if they're going to commit or if they're just going to try to reform. And I think they're going to actually commit. There they go. They're going in, trying to break some cavalry that's already been in the fight. Now, these guys can form square. Not all of them. But they got to be careful, because this is some... Okay, they're falling back. So France is going to chalk this up to experience. They're going to try to reform the lines, I'm sure, and just try to save, as the Reich is just going to be tenacious. Bayonet charges going all around. Got some bayonet charges over here. These Grenadiers are going to lose... Well, infantry. I don't think it's actually grenadiers, but some volleys going in on them. Nice close range. Over here, you can see that France is realizing their ally is in trouble, and they're pushing. As well as over here, France is now sending over more infantry. They got to reform. They can still win this if they try. But the allies, the coalition, they are out for blood. They can smell it. If they can rout this heavy cav unit, it's over. These infantry need to be very careful because they're going to get crushed if they don't stop. Oh no. Oh no, these guys aren't even forming square. Oh no. The only good thing about this, guys, is that these cuirassiers are going to be getting flanked like crazy. So hopefully their morale will drop because this does not look very good for them. Oh, here looks like more Cav going in. There's so much going on. I'm trying to get it all. I'm sorry, guys. Cav is going to charge this cannon from France. And France is just trying to hold together till their ally gets here. This is just crazy. Over here, you got some Cav play, which unfortunately I'm missing. Russia is just kind of trying to get rid of France's Cav. This French Cav is going to get flanked. They should stand and fight. All its infantry is going to have no cavalry to defend it. And they're going to break them. That's an excellent, excellent win for Russia. Now, as you can see, guys, France is broken. They've just been teamed up by so many different units. These chests, they're... I don't know. They are trying to hold. Don't know if they'll be able to hold, but they're going to try and hold. They're forming square, and I think the Reich and Prussia can now reform as I believe they broke. Yeah, they broke that heavy cav. It went in and committed a little bit too late. And now it's going to be up to these other factions. They can still hold this, but they have had some major losses, like their cav. Russia was able to pick them apart with the cav, and look at this little group, this little guerrilla faction. Artillery still limbered up, and these guys are ignoring them. They're going to be able to shell the heck out of them. So over here now, the Reich is going to be forming up. They're just dealing with the rest of these infantry. That's something that you definitely don't want to deal with Cav, because they can form square, and they're going to continue to. The carnage and the death already, guys, in this little area, how fast it changes, and there is just death everywhere. Now look at this. These French grenadiers, there's not a whole lot of them left. They are still holding. 32 of them. They're just kind of ignoring it to take the LSC, but they can continue to push. France still has some good infantry. They can form up here. Over here, now, these guys are blobbed up, and that is going to be disaster for this French as they are running. Why are they running? Did the guy get dropped? Because AI will run. If a guy gets dropped, the AI will run. Taking out the flag bearers, I see. I'm not sure why they're running. Russia's going to just run them down as they're running. And if that guy dropped, then that is very unfortunate, because this would have been a very close battle. Okay, they're walking now. And they're, okay, they are forming square. So this isn't just... I'm assuming this guy didn't get dropped then. But you don't want to run your infantry. They're going to be exhausted. Ooh, that's an excellent way of forming square. So over here, France is starting to form up another line of battle. They are not dismayed, even though there's a bunch of comrades running past them who are all dead or are going to die. So they're going to form up and start popping off some volleys with the Reich. They can go toe-to-toe with both of these factions. These are both low morale factions. Bring a lot of troops, but low morale. Maybe fall back and wait for your reinforcements, because there's some cav over here. But for now, it looks like... Okay, so France is... France is going to try to go in for this artillery. Let's see if he can get a good artillery shot. Nope, the infantry, though. The infantry is going to do a bayonet charge, and these guys are going to break, and that's a whole waste of infantry. Now, ooh, there's another artillery here. Charge them. Yeah, that. So they're gonna, waited a little bit too long for that. They're probably gonna break these cannons, but that really hurt them. Over here, these guys better form square because they're about to get charged by some Russian cavalry. Yes, they did. They formed square just in time. But they're going to be caught out as they aren't going to be able to do a whole lot if you're in square formation. Over here now, Prussia, I believe, has taken this house. No, they haven't. Still haven't taken the house. But they are just pushing, being very tenacious. They're going to try to swing around the flank because these French factions were not playing very close to each other. And it looks like another bayonet charge from the Reich. They're just going to go in with some cavalry and some infantry trying to turn this flank. Unfortunately, they broke, but they also broke the left flank of France. And now Prussia is able to capitalize on that. Move some troops, maybe even using this road to kind of move up. Over here, this isolated, whatever is left of this French faction is, well, it's getting stuck. It's getting trapped by some guerrillas, but they're able to take care of this infantry, and that's going to be a French victory finally. More French are finally arriving in. Like I said, guys, France definitely can still win this. They can. It's going to be tough, but they can still win it. They just got to be very careful and not be aggressive as they become aggressive. I would not have these guys, push up like this. They're getting slaughtered and shot to pieces. You can see the death in their wake. But they're getting blasted with artillery fire as well. I think they're trying to go for these guns. But there's Cav who's defending them, so it's probably going to be a waste. I would fall back. Definitely fall back at this point. Fall back to, I don't know, someplace else because you are getting outflanked by cavalry. You've won over here, but oh man, look at this. They are going to get charged in the back as they're trying to go up. Both sides and these allies in this coalition are working so well together to ensure that their cav charges are in sync. Charging the flank of these infantry now. These guys cannot form square. And France is in trouble. As fast as they're bringing up reinforcements, they are getting destroyed. And now the reserves are now in trouble, as now they are getting hit. Other reserves are coming up here, but they are realizing they're going to have to watch the back lines as the Reich is going to go in for some rear charges, and France just cannot win. They didn't have enough cav for this battle. They are going to start breaking. This line is going to start breaking. They're basically just picking on some guys that can't form square. This Russian cavalry is just doing work on these rear lines. France is holding. If they can just get control... Oh, look at this, though. If they can get control of this right flank, they can start pulling on the Reich's right flank. Here goes some infantry. They're going to go in for a rear charge. I think they decided they're not. 5 of them were like, oh, wait, we're supposed to go for a charge? Oh, wait, we're not? Oh, my bad. So this is the problem now. The Reich is having a lot of problems on this left flank. This artillery, I think, needs to limber up. They're about to lose it. This is bad. Prussia and the Reich need to push on this right flank because their left flank is about to totally get lost. This infantry is going to take out this horse cav, or artillery, sorry. And there's still some cav over here from France. But it's not going to work out very well. Now, Russia does have some strategically placed, obviously, some really good artillery, which is going to help even the battle. Might I just say, this is the coolest shot I think I've gotten in a long time once this picture-in-picture goes away. Look at that. I'm probably going to have to come back to screenshot mode, because that is gorgeous. Oh, here they come. They're charging them. It is over, unfortunately. Now France has taken care of the artillery on the right. They can make this battle even. They don't have the cav, though, so Prussia definitely can still even the odds. But this line infantry is going to have a problem against France. Now, they are doing a wise... Oh, my goodness. Look at this. They have reserves, but... Oh, France may still take this. It looks like the Reich is going to go for another bayonet charge with some Grenadiers. That is the perfect unit to throw in for Grenadiers. And it looks like the Reich is actually going to commit a... Don't do it. You're going to get blasted at close range. That is going to devastate this line infantry. And I am really, really surprised that France is still in this. Because they got badly bloodied. But the Reich, I think, at this point, the Reich is just very, very tired. They and the Prussians have been fighting this whole time. There's a lot of fresh units from France. Some winded, some... Actually, they're all tired because they had a run, I guess. But this Cav is going to have to try to save the day here. Ooh, these guys are going to get chopped to pieces. And France is being wise. As in Napoleon Total War 3, you need to make sure you have guys who can form square. Here we go. So the Reich is trying to stop this push. They're throwing anything and everything they have at this French line. They're trying to throw all their cav, do some cycle charges to stop them. Because this is just too much. This is too much. This line is just doing work. Nope, they're falling back. Alright, so I think France has realized that their left flank is terribly, terribly exposed when it comes to the cavalry. They don't have the cav to deal with this Cav. And here's some skirmishers who are getting nice and close, which means their accuracy is going to be doubled. Still getting some excellent shots. Look at these purple hats. I like it. So this left flank for France is now starting to be very concerning. But the Reich is in trouble. And also, I think they finally won. Yeah, they finally won this. So here's some reserves. Very weak reserves, maybe from Prussia. They can send down this road. But here comes the Reich is sending in some cav, running down infantry, making sure they do not come back, and then going for the back lines of this French army, making sure that they don't have any reserves. It's very excellent use. The cav play in this battle has been just superb. And now the Reich is going to go for some weak units in the center who cannot form square. Look at these guys. They should go for these. They're already wavering, but look at this. This is going to be huge as France just can't control this, and it's going to start breaking this whole line. These guys are going to start wavering because they're just getting hit in the back. As now this Cav's even going to charge their own infantry, forcing them out of line. And actually the Reich got away. So now Prussia and the Reich are going to push up, and this is coming down to this one line battle. And actually now France is going to send in some of their own cav to do a cav charge, and so is the Reich. So they're both just taking turns, punching holes in each other's lines. Who's going to take up the other one's cav first? That is the question. Or are they just going to rout each other? Either way, I think France definitely did not come out on top. And the Reich kept their cav. So France is not having an advantage anymore. In fact, they have a massive disadvantage, and they are just going to go in for more. They just keep punching holes in this line. Look how close they're getting to each other. The Reich is trying all they can, and it's going to cause some guys to start dropping. On both sides, the horrors of war up nice, close, and personal. And look at this mosh pit as now just infantry is going in for bayonet charges. Cav is charging in, and I think Prussia has decided that this is it. And France is like, I agree. It's do or die, and it looks like France is going to die. And Prussia's going to do. Over here, the Reich actually is not doing the greatest. Okay, no, they're holding it together. We got some units doing a bayonet charge on each other, some grenadiers. Some cavalry from the Reich is going to help back them up, and this battle is going to be over. as France was unable to hold it together. They almost did. They had a solid line. They almost, if it wasn't for the Cav, I think they could have held it, possibly. I mean, who knows? You can speculate, you know. But now it's just... Now it's just nothing but death, slaughter, and I think that's everything. Should be everything. Let me fast forward to make sure. They're just gonna run them down, farm them kills. Am I right? No, I'm just kidding. It may not be the greatest job, but it's honest work. I just want to fast forward because obviously they have some LOCs. They're going to have to be taken care of. Thankfully, they're actually going to go out, though. So,
we have killed their general, sir. Now they must...
That was an awesome battle. Yes, I mean, Russia did have a lot of Cav. It wasn't the greatest Cav, but in the end, it paid off. And I'm kind of curious how many kills they got. Look at this poor bloke.
Fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Literally, that's got to be like the worst day ever. Hold on. Worst day ever. Dead, and you can't even, like, you know, be out of this battlefield instead. You're just being dragged by your horse. No biggie. Just bye. Alright, so let me fast forward here. So these line infantry just need to march down this road and face their fate. You know? Be a man about it. At a certain point, you should be able to just hit the surrender button. Versus just, you know, having to wait till your unit's all dead. If you know you lost the battle, you lost the battle. You know what I mean? Oh, we got the officer firing. The friendly kills are real. It's like, you know, I don't care if I kill my own units. This guy's like, but wait. Alright. So I believe this is actually sent in by chainmail, if I'm not mistaken. But it was well played. As you can see, the loss, the kills by, you know, the two Russian factions wasn't as great, but they did some probably decisive morale debuffs. Yeah. It's an excellent job. Oh, got some actually really good chevrons. Dang, these Dragoons got a lot of kills. 137. 153. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Is that the best? 153? That's pretty good. Anyway, like I said, special thanks to anybody that sends replays. I believe that was Shane. It may have been Anzac. I can't remember. I'm sorry. But thank you guys for joining me for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more, and yeah, you guys have a great rest of your day. Catch you guys in another video.